Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, Liam? Hold on, still working some details out. Let me. It's not showing full screen this time. It's kind of weird. Wait, was I looking at it there? I thought I had the chat overlay on. Not seeing anything though. It's weird. No. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, okay. That's weird. What do you mean misplay? Oh, you thought you misplayed. How do you do that? For some reason, it's not going full screen on my side for some reason. Hold on. I need to go into YouTube. Let's see. Turn that. There are some things in this stream setup that's not quite as intuitive. Let's get that on. I didn't upload it. Oh yeah. Thumbnail. That's great. Okay. Oops. Then what I click on? Oh, somehow I clicked on analytics. Not what I was trying to do. It's pissing me off. It won't go full screen. Let's see. Docs. Where's the chat doc? I think that's got it. Liam, what you sitting on all that stuff for? Events, live, home, no. Embed link. No, I don't want to see it there. So I had a window before and it was full screen and it showed the chat on one side. It looked really well, but I can't find that now. And I don't know why. No, I'm on the thing now. No, I don't want anything. Yeah. No, you did. Yeah. What is this thing doing? Save this. It's something. It's a browser for the dual streaming stuff, and that's for some reason that's not showing it like it normally is. That's weird. Open and close again. It seemed to work last time. It's always the go-to answer, right? Open and close. Start, restart. That's pre-recorded. What is this? Okay, I think I messed something up. Nope, nope, nope. Go back. Are y'all seeing something change on the screen? Maybe I'm starting this from the wrong place. Ah, forget it. I can see the chat. I can see the screen. We're good. You know, kind of in that vein, Liam. Not the same thing though, but it was. I don't know if it was an Alexa thing. There was a time, like in Call of Duty, because you know they added a proximity chat, where, like, speaking through your microphone, if it was playing like, not through headset, but just like through TV stereo or something, people could turn other people's Xboxes off by saying like Alexa Xbox off or something like that, and they would literally turn the other players' consoles off. It was pretty funny stuff. Pretty toxic, but it was funny. Okay, I can't get the view I had before, and it's kind of pissing me off a little bit. Oh well. See, I can't see how many people are on the stream right now. I don't know if it's actually. I need to check and see if I'm actually streaming on Twitch right now. Oh, that's just awesome. Alright, I'm gonna test, see if I can see this chat. Test, okay. Is it showing up here? Is it showing up here? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, this Tau armor's awesome, man. The purple barb. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this, but I can't. I don't know. For some reason I'm not getting the same view this time. Videos. Ah, screw it. What? This is badass. Purple barb? Come on. Is it showing? I didn't even notice. Hold on. Because I could change the size. I made an overlay. Hold on, let me see it. Let me view it on YouTube, see what it looks like. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's way smaller, Jesus. Alright, let's change that up a little bit. Alright, let's see. Chat overlay. Got there. Where's the... There's a font size on here somewhere. Well, I thought there was. Where's the font size? Oh, you know what? I changed it somewhere else. Alright, let's just make that a little bigger. This is now Streamlabs is off. They're gone. We're not doing anything with Streamlabs anymore. I created some overlays. It's so stupid. It's kind of it looked like an industry thing. It's hard to test live stream stuff. Twitch, like 100%, does have a testing thing. YouTube, you could technically go private, but then the private is you know, you don't have anybody there to test with you, so I have to go live to test stuff, and that just feels weird to me. Cranky, what's up, brother? Okay, that didn't increase the size though. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Hold on. That might have done it. I think I got it. I think that got the size. Hold on. Where? That's kind of weird though. It's right justifying the names. Like if you see the names, it justifies to the right, which is kind of weird. I think that was a little better. I'm curious now though. Is that okay? That doesn't show up. I clipped it. I went to a different thing just to see. You know, it'd be better if it actually gave me the same thing I had last time. That would be nice. It literally is doing something completely different. Wait, what's it doing? Okay, whatever. I have no idea how many people's here. I don't understand why I'm suddenly getting something different. Yeah, I hear you, Mike. So what's today? Today's the 7th. I think this week. I think it's a little early for this week for us to be expecting any news. I think if we're going to hear something, it's probably going to be next week. Wait, what? Just found out single player won't go to PC after the new. Really? Hold on. Is everything that you find saved client side for single player? I'm technically there should be a save file, right? Wouldn't that work that way? Oh, wait. That's curious though. Wait, no. Technically, I don't know how that works for single player because you can link accounts, right? You can link from console to PC and have the same accounts, but does that work for single player moving the save file? That's actually interesting. Because technically, for single player, right, you have a local save file. So, doesn't transfer. Okay, that was my thought. It wouldn't because it would be saved locally on the console. So, transferring or moving your account, you can link your BattleNet account, but your single player would be stuck on the client that you were playing it on. Yeah, but on console, I mean, technically, consoles is got. Yeah, I don't know if you could grab that file. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, I didn't think about that because you'd have to start over. Like it even saves like your characters locally, right? So like it wouldn't even show if you switch to PC. Your offline characters wouldn't even be in your listed in your file because obviously all that's kept local. Oh, that sucks. I never thought about that with the linked accounts because the single player being offline. Hmm. Because it feels like a PC upgrade. Like if you had an old PC you're playing on and you got a new PC, it would be easy enough to transfer the file. But from console, that would be, yeah, that would be tough. Is it PS? Because they're like with the way Xbox is set up, like Mike's talking about, like Xbox. Is there like a cloud that you could save stuff to and then pull it back down, or for even for PS? Could you technically like upload and pull back? That would be something to look at. Topher, your name was. Your name was like in the back of my mind, reminding me of something, and I remember what it was. There's this guy on Facebook. I'm assuming he just does Facebook. Um, I think he's a rapper. But he became like a minister or something. But he's like all over Facebook. I've seen like a lot of his videos and stuff. But his name, he called it his. I think his tag on Facebook's like Topher. Anyways, what should we give away today? I got a bunch of SOJs. I don't have a good mix of runes. You're OG. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Well, it's like I just came across it. It's like I like pretty recent that I just happened to see some of his stuff popping up on Facebook. So we got 20 burns here. I think I got some more somewhere else. Yeah. I got a couple more here. I thought I had a couple of jaw runes. We're hopefully on the countdown. I think we're getting close to where we're going to get some info. I think it's going to be a little while, but I think we're getting close. Wait, did Chris pop in? I didn't see him. Oh, there he is. What's this embed link? Get embed link. Did I just change my screen again? We need to get Chris an infinity. Yeah, Chris has been the key farmer. Let's get Chris an infinity. I feel like I got these runes somewhere. It's not here. Probably on my Sork. You need a self-wheel? Ah, there we go. I got a couple of jaw runes. Let's move these. What is that? Anybody need a good necro torch? 1720. Do you want a scythe? I got one. Yeah, I know. There we go. I got a scythe. I got way too much junk. dim. Why do I have I don't know. Why do I have that? Yeah, way too much junk. Anybody want a chain lightning enormous? I won't ever use that. Alright, that's that. Let's do it with the pally. Does the on-screen chat look okay now? Alright, so what is it? Infinity's Burr what? What is Infinity? Burmal, that's it. Burmal Burr Ist. Burr Mal. I don't think I have an Istrun. Chris, you got an Istrun? Burr. Yeah, I don't have an Istrun. What did we use? I think I might have just put. I think it's just plus skill, Liam. Maybe Amara's. Is it High Lords? Or was it something funky like Crescent Moon? Was there a fire damage one? I don't remember now. Because, I mean, you could technically get the IS with High Lords. Right? Hey, Mike. What's up, buddy? Nice. What you want for it, Mike? What's up, Jerry? No, we just got one, Liam. We just got one. Alright, Chris, where you at? We're going to roll this bad boy. Awesome, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy. I think I might have used High Lords on mine, Liam, because of the little IAS, and you do get a skill point with it. I think I was using that at the time. Get that off the screen. That off the screen. Okay. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're gonna roll an Infinity. Self-wheeled. Self-wheeled. That's a nice base. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything with the ED, but it is kind of a cool base. Alright, screw it. Burr. Mal. Burr. Alright, for this, the minus lightning resist, the 55 is important for self-wheel. I think it's going to roll above 50. Or technically, well, it's negative, so here we go. Where's it at? Ah, 48. What's the range on that? Is it 45, 55? I think it's 45, 55. Yeah, 45, 55. So it rolled a little low. Come here, Chris. Come get it. Make sure you got room. Nice. Go ham. Accidentally picked something up. Summoner Skiller. I probably should make room. Nah, thank you, Chris. Chris puts a lot of stuff into the stream. I appreciate it. I don't know why I have that. Pair of train gloves if somebody needs. Oh wait, you know what? I think this is my faux gloves. I think I had. Was I using Trangs? No, I wasn't using Trangs for faux. I don't need my FCR for faux. Warcry's 20? That's actually pretty nice. Nah, Chris, I don't need. I'm not going to dump any more in the gold find because I'm not going to do that much gambling, dude. It rolled a 48. It was okay. It was not a bad one. I still got too much junk in here. Real quick. I mean, it's important on the self-wheeled, right? But yeah, I'm sure it still wrecks. Let's see this cracking. Oh wow, 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 wow. Yeah. If it's ethereal, it would have probably rolled 800 plus. It would have been a great stretch base. There's a razor tail, Liam. I'm assuming your guy's probably tricked out, isn't it? +2 death century. Yeah. Well, wind force. Somebody threw a wind force. That was probably Jerry. Anybody need a wind force? Yeah, Magic, we're still trucking along with it, man. I mean, it is what it is. I still enjoy it. No, this is ladder. This ladder stuff. Jerry, have you completed your grail? Have you found everything? It seems like you have. What do you probably just miss? I bet you're missing Tyraels, right? Tyraels and Mangs or something. You got to be close, dude. There's no way you're not close. Oh, D-Web for you, Mike? Yeah, I found that Tyraels is probably the toughest one. Just Tyraels? Yeah, that's what I thought, Jerry. That one's the hard one. Well, that's why, when Llama, the infamous Llama video where he finally gets it and loses his mind. Yeah, I mean, and he's put way more time even than all of us. I bet his play time is higher than ours. And so when he finally got the Tyraels, that was probably the last item, I'm sure. What's the thing today or right now? What's it? Oh, oops. Get out of here. I don't need it. How many people are on? Should we do? It's Andy. Oh, I feel like I need to do that. God, that was a lot of fire at one time. Jesus.
I can't carry anymore.
Mike, how'd that storm up your way turn out? We only got a little bit of rain, man. It wasn't really that big a deal. Towel mask. I was expecting a lot more. We did get a decent amount of rain, but it wasn't really, it was just like a steady rainfall all day.
Thanks.
Wait, which one was that? $1. Yeah, I couldn't remember. You did get some snow? Oh, Bob, you got some snow. Okay. Y'all always get snow. Wait, what? Yeah, hold on. Let me. Where do I change that? Alright, let's see. Game audio, audio input capture. That's going to turn down both. It's probably going to be, where's the display capture? That's my voice. I think we actually just have to turn this down. Now, Magic, it doesn't. They don't ever release those numbers. I think the estimates. I don't know if it's active player base, but I remember seeing something earlier in the season where it was around 50,000. I don't know how true that is, be honest. Because since Blizzard never, um, they never release player count numbers. It's just guesstimates. Yeah, Bob, they were saying Tuesday that we were going to be getting a lot, or we had a storm coming through on Tuesday. Um, yeah, Magic. That's what I. Hold on, we can. Again, these are estimates. There's a website that does like it counts connections to servers. Hold on, let me see if it's what it says. Um, player current player count um, D2R. I think it's like um, wait, where's I remember seeing that. I don't see it now. Maybe it's concurrent players D2R. Live player count. Um, January 6th. That is yesterday, right? Yeah, 48,300 is what it's saying. It's 7-day high. 7-day average is 48,000. So yeah, I mean, still, it's still up there. I mean, well, Liam, I think the bots have they've probably toned down the bots a bit, because they're just not getting anything. It's probably not worth, you know, value wise, with a bunch of bots running. So I mean, that's I mean, and this is going towards the end of the season too. There was some other stats there. Hold on. It was saying 7-day high was 54. Let's look at 30-day. 30-day peak hit like 56. So I mean, I was about right. It's averaging about 50ish. It's not horrible. I feel like if you know, if they actually do a little bit of something with this next season, there'll be a little spike with it. Let's see how this sounds. See if this is too loud. Like on my end, it's low. Does that sound really loud still? The when I'm hitting the bow right there. Like on my input locally, it sounds pretty low, but it's not translating to stream the same. So I don't know if that's still pretty loud on stream. I should be killing these. Yeah, Mike, it'll depend. If they do some decent stuff with the next season, I mean, there could potentially be a decent, because people are just loyal D2 players are looking for something out of this next season. So, I mean, that'll probably determine who all decides to come back and play
I
some
can't
more.
carry anymore.
I mean, again, the beginning of the season's always fun for me, but that's not the case for everybody. I would take it a little farther than that, Bob. I mean, the idea being that, you know, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like the events weren't difficult changes to make, but it's the idea of what they like kind of put their changes into. Like they weren't as like pointless as the last season's ones. You get what I'm saying? Like they made events that like the D2 player base could kind of get behind versus just like the gold vine buff and the magic vine buff, which was only 50 last year. I mean, they actually, there was a little bit of thought put into it. They're not going to have the resources to make like code changes, so they kind of had to limit it to stuff that could probably just change values in the database. But at least they changed the values on things that probably people could be more behind than. Right. Any code change is probably going to be tough. I don't know if we're going to see much in the way of quality of life stuff, because that is actually, any quality of life changes requires like something to be built. Like items, even like new rune words, are not technically things that are built. You could create those probably through just like a text file, and the game takes what's in the text file and builds it. Or it might just be hard saved items or values somewhere, but you don't actually, unless you're adding a new effect. Like technically, like, well, maybe not even in that case. Like Metamorphosis did some weird stuff, and I think it actually added a new effect, didn't it? But anyways, like those kind of things you could technically do without doing a whole lot of coding, if any at all. Quality of life stuff, you're going to have to build something. D4 is not bad per se. To a lot of D2 players, it might be. But there's a lot of players playing it that probably, I mean, you got to look at us as like a subset of the entire Diablo community. Because there was people that were playing D3, right? And they're still playing D3, but they're not technically fans of D2, maybe. D4 is kind of the same way, and they're making adjustments and changes, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be anything that a lot of the D2 player base will like will latch into, because to us it's all about the loot system, and that in itself is still pretty rough. The D2 players about the loot hunt, most of them, and probably some PvP. There's a small subset of PvP players. But I wouldn't say that it's bad. It's just not for me. Liam, I'm yes and no on that. I think if they did a battle pass that actually gave us like some cool stuff, maybe it would soften the blow. But just a battle pass just to monetize without giving us anything in return. Because I don't even know what you could do with a battle pass for D2R. You'd actually have to create like, because a lot of things tied to battle passes are like skins, and D2 has no way of doing skins right now. They'd have to build that, so there's just no way to tie a battle pass to D2. Yeah, Bob, that would be for sure. It was because it was just like an upgraded version of D3. But I mean, what do y'all think? I think the D3 loot might have even been a little better. I don't remember now. It's been so long since I played it. I feel like Maybe the itemization in D3 was a little better. I don't know. I was never that big of a D3 fan. I did put some time into it, but I didn't play it anywhere near as much as D2. Not even close. Yeah, the towel set would be kind of the only one that's affected by something like that. I mean, even like IK armor, you know, it was a little rare to get, but I mean, I don't think there was like actively trading early on for IK armors. Towels for sure. Towel armor by far. Especially early, like I said, early on. But yeah, I mean, whether Microsoft decides to put resources into D2R is going to be the question. that would actually, because the model's already there. Yeah, I mean, turn you into one of those goat guys. I mean, the helmet's kind of playing into that already, right? I don't know why I look at it, but I'll look at it. Wow, Jack. Well, first rare ring, or first unique ring. Let's get our Manhold out of the way. Another Raven. Why would I not think it was going to be a Raven? I think I'll get Ravens more than Manholds. And we're going to find out soon enough. I mean, if they don't put out any info within 2 weeks, they're not going to do anything. Now, I'm just doing this because it's a Terror Zone. My go-to is Chaos still. Back-to-back dwarfs. No, mine's the Ravens this year. Corrupted or Terror Zone Andy is a great Terror Zone to run. So if that one's up as a Terror Zone, you should always run it. It's a great one.
Greetings.
I think if it's up, I would definitely take this Terror Zone over Chaos, running just straight Chaos. I mean, if the Terror Zone sucks, I still go back to Chaos, and then maybe Trav if I feel, don't feel like running Chaos at the time. But that one's usually my first go-to still. Spirit Keep. What's the good one? What's the Druid Helm that
Hello.
most, not Jalal's, but like the really rare one? There's one. It's not Spirit Keeper. Is it Ravenlore? That's the good one, right? A lot of people hang on to that one. Wrong one. War Staff stuff. One-on-one.
I am overburdened.
Wraith Flight. No, it's not Cerebus. Cerebus isn't that good either, is it? Oops. Was I looking for 3? I guess so. There's the Reapers. See if it's ethereal. I don't even pick these up or keep these unless they're ethereal. No, it's a regular one. Thanks. Alright.
Impossible.
Oh, that's a Geats. Okay, cool. Alright, so we got 40 already. $28. No thanks. Low on the gold,
I
too.
can't carry anymore.
Telling you, Andy's just a great run. I was trying to remember though, Ravenlore, is that an Ellie helmet, or is that one for like Feral? I don't remember the stats on it. I don't know why I'm keeping that Raven Frost. Another rune. Fire Ellie. Got you. Hey, what's up, Greg? Guys, I created a great effect for my game yesterday. So those that are familiar with battle royales, you have like a gas that like pushes you towards the center of the map. And since ours is vertical, I have to have like some sort of gas effect that's going to push you upwards. So I was working on that yesterday, and we kind of had a concept of what we wanted to do, and I was able to create it yesterday. Let me tell you, I impressed myself. It was, and I'm not going to show anybody. I'm just going to talk about it. It's cool. So 15-13. It's unfortunate. Can't pull like a Sacred Targe with those kind of stats. Wait. Oh wow, then we get towels? Man, that's what I'm talking about. Another good Terror Zone. Might as well finish this one. Not as great for this. Well, it's not horrible. Lightning is kind of a little rougher in towels, but I mean, it seems like last time I did it, it was still a pretty easy run. Because you could get the beetles, and they could be annoying. I actually don't know why I'm killing the packs now. Can't get anything decent from them. Yet I still do it. What else can we make today? Right now, all I got is burr runes, but we could probably like trade around and get some other runes for them. Make some different things. Ethereal? Nope. Still getting decent drops in here. Scolders. I guess outside of ED, there's no other random stats, right?
Greetings.
I feel like, wasn't that Cold Plains one kind of early in the season too, which was what was so crazy that Griffin dropped? Man, I'm going to have a rough time if they don't announce at least giving us 5 more character slots. That's going to be a bad time. That's a lot of stuff. Yes, Can, that is true. Every once in a while I go on my non-ladder character just to look at it. Look at the stuff I have. And then say I need to get rid of it and then just leave it. What's that? Aegis or no? Aegis. This is Medusa's. No, that's a bone. Gurks. Okay. What y'all think? Is it Gurks or Gurkies? Gurkay? Why is that not opening? I don't know if you're trolling me or not now. Is it another French thing? It's pronounced Gary. I feel like with the extra R, it's not Gary.
Good day.
You suck. I caught so much shit over the G face that I don't trust anything now. Shut up, Nord. What did I call it? Did I call it Galamis? I think I said Galami. Wasn't that what it was? And I said it in a video that way. Oh my God. I knew what it was. I was just playing. Dude, Nord, it was, man. It was one of my first videos. It was so early on. It was so early on. Oh my god. The comments went wild with that one. Holy jeez. Oh, dude. It was it was pretty rough. God. Oh my god. I don't even remember what video it was. I just remember it was early on, and everybody was giving me shit over that one. That's like whatever. I definitely butchered that one. I owned it. I didn't try and fight back. I didn't do any of that. I just took it. I just took it. I can admit if I'm wrong. It was pretty embarrassing though. I didn't have a choice. I had to take it, right? You can't really push back against that. I'm sure somebody would figure out a way to try to, but if you screw up, you screw up, man. What else you gonna do? Where's the way out? Yeah. I might have to go back and look at that video. I don't remember if I like questioned myself when I was saying it or if I just went with it. I don't remember. I feel like I would have questioned myself whether I was pronouncing that right, but I don't know for 100%. Tommy, what's up, brother? Is that what I should? No, you can't. It would have been something like, "You illiterate idiots, y'all don't know what you're talking about." It's Galami. It's Galami because I say it's Galami. Took a day off. From what? Talking to your neighbor? Or your 99 grind? Yeah, right. Lord, it kind of does. Galami. Oh, you got 99? Or oh, from the grind. Have you hit it? How close are you? Dude, that's yeah, that's doing that's kind of, I don't know about doing the 99 grind. I mean, I guess technically I should do it once in D2R. I haven't done it in D2R. I've done it in, the old D2 stuff, but I've never hit 99 in D2R. So maybe I need to do that next season. Just do a 99 grind, which would suck, but. Doing single player 8, maybe. I'm surprised Schmuck hadn't tried to do like a marathon 1 to 99. He's young enough, he could just grind it out. Just do it on single player. Alright, let's get some, let's get some scrolls. Yeah, Bob, me too, man. I did it in Legacy, but that was the only way I was going to do it. Back then, you could just grind cows, and you could do it on single player, or not single player, but just do cows. You didn't have to do pub games to do it. I don't remember what was different about the XP grind. I think diminishing returns was just nowhere near like it is now. Because I mean, I did 3, and it didn't seem like it was. I mean, it was tedious, but it wasn't like the grind that like today's grind to hit the 99. I mean, I've seen what those guys do to try and get there, and they gotta, like, get a whole team to try and do it quickly at least. They shouldn't be able to res through walls. Yeah, it'd have to be pretty crazy. I guess if I were to do it, if I was going to try and do it solo, without trying to get a bunch of people involved, you'd have to do it all in single player. Mosaic, well, Nova Sork maybe. Nova Sork probably would be doable, or on the faster end. Yeah, obviously the Mosaic would be really fast. I think you could probably do it pretty quick with hammers. The ramp up time with hammers can be a little slow. I guess technically on. What are you doing? On single player, you could technically monkey around with the tear zones and get the ones you want that are optimal. That's true. I mean, you'd want Griffin. Um, like the build cost for sure is probably on the lower end with Mosaic. Well, it would be way cheaper. You're definitely not doing it in one sitting. Wonder how long that would take. Man, you'd have to take a break from the game for a while after doing something like that, though. That would be insane. Yeah, the goal runes. I mean, that'd be the expensive part for Mosaic, and you're pretty much set. And didn't he do some sort of video where he like did counters till he got whatever rune or like infinity or something? He did something like that. So doing that up to like 2 gold runes, I mean, you'd probably get 2 mouths to drop. I should do some sort of event like that next season. Something. Ghosts must be walking around. That lightning still beats me up, though. Jesus.
Thanks.
That's an interesting idea, actually, Can.
I need a key.
Well, maybe to see who's in second place. Yeah, maybe see who takes second. I mean, because there is something to be said for doing player aid. I mean, it's the ramp up for health is pretty significant. Is there a resistance ramp up too, or is it just it's like health and damage? What are the ramp ups for the player counts? Outside of like the no drop percentage, that kind of stuff. Um, I know it's health. I don't remember the percentage. Oh no, now I gotta look. Let's D2 player count. Where's it at? I don't care about drops. Ton of videos. Player count settings. What's player count? Here we go. It's just showing a life percentage change. So yeah, the difference between P1 and P8 is 450% health. Drastic impact on monsters total health. Okay, no, there is other things. Life, damage, and attack rating. Monster gains 6.25 additional damage and attack rating starting at player 2 to up to 8. Okay. Okay. What's up, Sean? I didn't realize it affected attack rating, so that the higher chance of the monster hitting you. And it says damage. I'm assuming that's just going to be physical damage. It didn't say anything about like increased magic damage. It just said damage. And normally in D2 context, that just means physical.
I can't carry anymore.
I mean, I'm assuming Nova will be strong in player 8. Because I never played, I never really got or paid that much attention to it because I never was one to like join like a lot of pub games to try and increase my drops and stuff like that. So I mean, I never really looked and noticed or paid attention to like the differences in the player counts. I mean, theoretically I know how it's supposed to work, but I just never really increasing player count was not that big a deal. And I never played all or single player, so I mean, like maybe there's classes that or builds that maybe you wouldn't think would be better in player 8. Because like take traps for example. I feel like traps wouldn't be that strong. Sean, the biggest thing people look for in a mosaic bases is Phoenix Strike. Dragonflight's an okay stat, like a secondary, but like Phoenix Strike, like the different build-up charges is probably the more sought after base. Like, and Phoenix Strike's like the main one. Everybody wants +3 Phoenix Strike bases for at least for trading. That's what you see the most. And then the base type is the bigger deal. If you could get like Greater Talon or Runic Talon, those are kind of the go-to ones. It felt okay in player 8, Nabani? I don't know. To me, traps always felt a little weak. Comparatively to some of the other, like, more, like, really meta builds. Almost Mang songs. My magic find's actually not that high on this character. Where the hell's the way out? I just saw it. There it is. Wait, I think I have some magic small charms just sitting in my stash now. Should probably check that. Just looking to see if it was ethereal. I haven't done a lot. I did do a Poison Nova Necro pre ladders.
I can't carry anymore.
And it was pretty solid. I mainly just used it for pit running. But it felt pretty good because all you had to do was get a couple kills and corpse explosion and rest and you're good to go. What do you mean broken? And that was doing Poison Nova pre Sunders, but it felt like the Sunder wouldn't have made a ton. I guess it depends on where you're running. It didn't make any difference running pits, but I'm pretty sure there was no poison immune in pits. I think that's why I was running it that way. But I mean, I kind of had to build that after finding that D-web. Ah, I got you. Kung Fu, what's up, brother? What's going on with you, man? Am I not hitting that dude? That's weird. There's a weird angle thing going on sitting on there. we only had like one set. Hold on, I'll look after this. Maybe 2 sets. I think we maybe have 2 sets of keys. And we had good terror zones. What was our key status? We had 2 sets. Like literally, I mean, that's where we're at key wise, which is decent. That we have it like that clean, like we got 1 extra terror key. Being sick. You better now? You doing okay now? Alright, let's look. Oh man, I hit the wrong. I think my heat is jacked. I'm gonna have to get it checked out. I feel like when the heat kicks on, it feels like it's blowing the air way hotter than it should to get it to the appropriate temperature. It's like when the heat kicks on, I feel like I'm sitting in a furnace.
Blessings to you.
I mean, I realize that North Carolina is kind of mild, but it still gets into the 20s at night. So we still need heat. Where's some guy at? Wasn't he was having heat problem, or wasn't his furnace busted yesterday? Or this past week? Where are those charms at? I feel like I had some small charms that were resistance, gold, life, maybe not. I thought I had some magic charms, magic smalls. Gold, 320. Guess not. Oh, dang, I thought I had a couple. You you had issues too, Novotny? God almighty. Oh, oh. Oh, that was cool. Because I feel like the AC also does that. Like, it just goes way super cold. And I realize, you know, it has to be at a certain point to get the temperature to where you want it. But I feel like it's like to the extreme. Like, when it kicks on, it's like, it's not comfortable. It's like super hot. Yeah, I might have to. They say if you do that too much, though, it's like causes issues. If you have, because the problem is like we have a room just for the birds, and we have to keep the vents closed there because you can't have like direct draft on the birds. And maybe that's really affecting like why it's so hot in here. And if I keep closing more, we're gonna have like 3 vents that are actually blowing. I feel like that causes an issue. But we kind of had that in the office when we back then too. It was like, and it wasn't even an old building. But you know the whole meme with women in like office spaces and never being happy with the temperature? I feel like that's actually not a meme. It's just how it is. Because like during the summer when the AC was blowing, all the women had little space heaters under their desk. All of them. No, dude. My wife's the opposite. She's like a blast furnace in and of herself. She is always hot, no matter what the temperature is on. These days, it's kind of, my mother's really cold natured. She gets cold quick. It's more kind of for her now, because she's just like always cold. And I actually still have the heat turned down way lower. If she had her way, it'd be a lot higher, and it just wouldn't be able to live in here. Now, I have said that, Jerry. I think there's something wrong with our thermostat. Mine's set to 70. And it feels like it's 85 in here. But here's what I've noticed. Like, we actually checked our... We have like a thermometer. We checked. So I watched the thermostat change 1 degree, and on the thermometer it changed 7 degrees. So, and my wife can attest to that. I have been saying that there's something wrong with the thermostat. But it's also a difference, like an upstairs downstairs difference too, which is kind of. I realized like upstairs is gonna be, because we don't have like separate units for upstairs downstairs, so that kind of throws things off. But I feel like the 7 degree difference is a bit much. There's going to be a little bit of variance, because when I say the 7 degree difference, I'm talking about upstairs versus where the thermostat is downstairs. So there's going to be some variance, but I feel like the 7 degrees is off, way off. Oh, really, Jerry? That's. I feel like I've seen them advertise that. Maybe it might be worth just looking at, because they always advertise stuff like that. I never really paid a whole lot of attention to it, but I don't know. This past year, it's feeling like it's been a little wonky.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Liam's a city planner now. Liam, have you heard back on that director thing? God dang, Liam. No, I didn't see that. Oh, that was almost bad. Oh, you just did the interview on Thursday? Gotcha. Hope it goes well, man.
I can't carry anymore.
Liam, you're West Coast, right? Aren't you on the Vancouver side? Seeing it right here, guys. Liam gets that job. You could say you know somebody that like runs Vancouver behind the scenes. I was about to say JW. Is that a burb of Seattle? Aren't you around Seattle, JW? Portland. Okay, yeah. Okay, my bad. I didn't know that. Tommy, what you talking about? You imagine Liam giving him the flu. Yeah, it might not go over well. You think it'd be like potentially this week that they'll let you know? That waiting part's rough, and it usually, I guess it just depends on how many people they're interviewing for the position, right? There's only a handful of candidates, yeah. The wait's probably going to be pretty short. Liam's going to become the head honcho, secret head honcho of Vancouver, behind the scenes. The shadow government. Mayors are just figureheads. Yeah, in the body. I will say, it feels like, at least in the tech industry, you heard back pretty quick. Like the last job I had that I interviewed for, I feel like I went in. Well, now that I think about it, had the initial phone interview. Which was about 30, 40 minutes. And then went into the next phase, which was about a week later. And that was the technical interview. There was 3 guys there for that. And then I think I had a third interview with the CEO. I take that back. I think that might have actually dragged on for at least a couple of weeks. Yeah, it dragged on for at least a couple of weeks. I was trying to remember. I did other interviews for other companies that I didn't get. Those came back pretty quick. So that might just say something about my talent at the time. Because I want to say there was another one I interviewed for that went several multiple steps, and I ended up actually backing away from it because I didn't like the direction some of the conversation was going, which I think turned out to be the right call. It was one of them things where the company was like, they said a lot about, trying to maintain home work-life balance, blah 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 blah, but it felt like everything was pointing away from that. So I got one of those, you got to go with your gut on a lot of that kind of stuff, and it was one of those I was like, I'm not too sure about that. They're saying one thing, but the vibes kind of, I don't know if it's actually lining up. If I remember correctly, I think I ended up being right about that because somebody I knew interviewed for the same position and he came to the same exact feeling about that job. Tommy, it took me a second and I started going to cook PC, but obviously computer popped into my head, not pork chops. Tommy, you go through a lot of pork chops, man. Tommy, a pork chop fiend. Like getting into the tech industry, that was a whole, that interview process with the tech industry, and I'm sure that's probably the same with like, especially like engineering, because a lot of other jobs, like I was in sales for a pretty good while, for a long while. Interviews, I mean, the technical aspect, like there's a whole nother interview that is not part of, like if you did like sales, you obviously, I mean, well, I guess it depends on what you were selling, maybe. There's like that whole technical interview that you have with IT or software or engineering that was a whole thing that I was never used to before when I was just doing sales. The technical interviews, like the first one wasn't too bad, but it was like the entry level, so they were trying to get like brand new out of school people. But from that point, you put in like a year or two in that job, and you start looking elsewhere. The technical interviews, that this becomes a whole level of stuff, and it's pretty nerve wracking. Even if you know your stuff, it can be a little more nerve wracking than a regular interview, I feel. What did it just pop to? Black Marsh. See, I don't think that. I feel like it should be Black Marsh and Tower, not the whole. Where's the thing? There it goes. Yeah, Navani. Yeah. Well, mine was 3 people for the last job I had. And you had to whiteboard. They were giving, and you didn't actually have to write code, but you had to write like pseudocode to solve a problem. And I've heard some interviews like that. Like if you want to get on, even like Google, Amazon, those type of places, the technical interviews get pretty extensive. In fact, I had one, and I actually told them I wasn't going to do it. I think it was that one I was just talking about. They gave me a technical, they said what the technical interview, I had to download, I want to say it was their, what they normally use for development on like their IDE. And I don't remember if they sent me the problem ahead of time. It was literally a problem that they were trying to solve internally. And I felt like they were trying to take advantage of the interview process to fix something that they needed fixed internally. Jeff, what's up, brother? It's been a long time, man. Good to see you. Because and it was a pretty extensive problem, because they kind of gave you the outline of it, I think, ahead of time, if I remember correctly. And it was specifically an issue that they were having to deal with. They told me that, and I was like, and they like, how far can you get in an hour or 2 hours? I forget what the time limit was. But they actually wanted you to write the code. It wasn't like a pseudocode thing. They actually wanted you to write out the code to fix the issue. I hear you, Jeff. How's it going, man? Are you muddling through? How much time you got left? Let's do a bounty. Y'all want to do a bounty? How many people are on? I have no clue how many people are on. Yeah, we'll do a bounty tomorrow. There's probably more people on during the week, I feel. No, it wasn't. Yeah, Devani, that's how I took it. And I was like, I'm not comfortable doing that. Because like other whiteboard, like every other interview I had, the technical portion, they would ask you to solve things, but it would be like theoretical, and you would just whiteboard. You'd do just pseudocode to like talk, you would kind of talk your way through it while you're doing it, and you would just create some pseudocode, like, I'd do a loop here, iterate through this part here, that kind of stuff, and you just kind of write it out. These guys actually wanted the code. Right. It was just more kind of like fleshing out the algorithm to solve whatever, theoretical problem they wanted you to do. These guys wanted actual code. And I was like, that just feels weird to me. Oh, so you only got another semester. That's cool. Yeah, that's the volunteer. Fantastic. For sure. Dude, I actually went on their website and read through when they were talking about their volunteer program or whatever it was. Tommy. Well, that's interesting, Jeff. Well, yeah, kind of Novotny. It just the whole like in the entire process, the interview process was just really wonky to me. It was way different than any other one I did. No, and that's the thing. It wasn't. They were actually I was interviewing for like the team lead position. Um, which I get that you still have to have somebody in that position that knows what they're doing, but it was just the whole process was weird. It was not like any other interview process that I did for any of the other uh, jobs I interviewed for. It was just so way different than all of them that it just gave me a weird feeling. Oh, May of 25. I thought you were May. I thought you said May 25th. May of 25. Yeah, that's another. Yeah, that's a little ways off. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Anybody need an enigma? Nah, not necessarily. I think Jeff, didn't you have a son that's in the military? I don't remember if that was you or not. Yeah, Novotny. Yeah, that you're 100% on that one, dude. Um, it is, and you could kind of tell, you know, because that wasn't even the one that was like making me uncomfortable. That the other dude, also interviewed for. The one that was like really hyping on the the work, work home balance. Like they'd say that, but it didn't look like it when they were telling you what you were going to be in charge of and what you were going to be doing. You need SOJs, Chris? Dude, I got a bunch left over from our declone walk. Yeah, because that's what triggered that conversation. Yeah, Jeff, when it was back when I was talking about going back to school, I remember Jeff was saying that as well because I went back to school when I was 40. I don't know, Liam. It was a lot of fun, dude. it was it was a lot of fun. There was more of an appreciation for it going back, especially at 40. Dude, it felt like such a cakewalk. Where did I have those at? Is it here? Yeah, that's true. It would depend on what you're going back for. The thing I didn't have, most of my focus was computer science. I did have a couple of electives that I had to take, um, and I had a blast in those. They were too much fun. I think this is the one. Yeah, I got a bunch, dude. I got like 15. No, 12. Well, yeah, that's a little. Well, at that point, is there much of a difference between going back at 40 and 56? To them, you're just the old guy. It didn't really matter. They'll just look at you as the old guy. At 40 or 56, to the kids in school, you're the old guy. Who's this? No, I don't want your server room. Here. Anybody else need SOJ? while I'm here, I got SOJs. We're not going to do a declone walk this rest of this season. I think we should try and incorporate one next season as early as we can do it. It'd be interesting to try for. Yeah, for sure, Jeff. My son, right? I mean, like my son's 33. Do a non-ladder walk? Does non-ladder even need walks? I feel like there's a bazillion Annihilus on non-ladder. Because was it last season? I think it was last season. Zeki did almost every walk on ladder, and then he took them into non-ladder. I think he had like a full inventory of Annihilus. I can see that, just because I think the player base just I feel like the player base is just less. Oh yeah, of course, Jeff. But I mean, 28's probably more than 90% of the students. 28 or 26? 26. Still. I remember walking in. I had to take philosophy. I don't remember what the alternatives were to taking the philosophy 101, literally. But I had to take that class, and I felt like I was sitting in a class full of kids. Yeah, the tech stuff is a little well, that kind of tech stuff, because you're more than likely going to like community college or a technical school, right? So there's a more of a variance in the ages in the community colleges and tech schools. But like I went to a 4-year school, and so that age bracket tends to skew to the 18 to 22 range, right? Whereas community is probably a way wider range. So that philosophy class was mostly full of freshmen. So it's basically full of 18-year-olds. And like, Jesus. I think my son was at that age at that point. Really, Liam? That's crazy to me. Is it if you went for a 4-year degree, is it free? Or is it mostly paid for? How's that? I don't even know in Canada. That sounds kind of weird that you can't go back to school and get in. Because I remember even when I was in college, when I was 18, I remember like my first calc class. I remember a woman being in there. I want to say she was in her 60s. And this was like 87, 86. Oh wow, that's crazy. Hmm. I don't think it's that unusual here. I mean, there's not many that go back to school, but I don't think it's hard if you wanted to. I think it's pretty straightforward. If you wanted to go back to school, I want to say when I applied, this was 2009. There was like immediate acceptance. I didn't have to provide a whole lot at all. And that's another thing. I feel like the requirements to get in school now is like nothing. I think if you graduated high school, that's enough to get you into college, into most colleges. It's crazy. Let's switch it up a little bit. Oh, were you Navani? Yeah, I actually, because I was in the electrical industry at that time in 2008, and that's when the crash hit, and like we did a lot of new construction, and that absolutely ended, right? So I was like, kind of seen the writing on the wall, and I did kind of want to make a change. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go back to school, and I did computer science at UNC, and just went into it full time. That's yeah, Liam. That's kind of crazy because yeah, you don't. It's not hard to if you wanted, if like you're older and want to go back to school, it's not difficult at all. You just did it or do it. I mean, I'm sure it would be cost prohibitive in certain schools, maybe. But I just went to state school. Tuition wasn't horrible. Honestly, don't remember what it was. It wasn't too bad. I finished it in three. What did it take me? 3 years, I think. Yeah, I think it took me three. I graduated in 2012. So yeah, it took me 3 years. Yeah, Chris, it's probably way tougher now, even compared to like 2008 or 2009. Wait, Liam, you saying like so that's basically, are you talking about like you're just your grade point, or not GPA, but like you're just your, I guess, did we do it that way? We always went by GPA. I don't like that kind of stuff. Like what you need to get into school here is like I said, I think if you graduate high school, you can get into a college, a 4-year college. It's kind of crazy. Because I will straight up tell you, some of the kids that were in some of the classes I were in, like the electives I had to take, yeah, they weren't it. They were not it. Definitely did not impress me in a bit. Now it was different, like in the, when you get up to like, and again, I'm talking about like a lot of the freshmen to get into college. A lot of them probably flunk out after the first semester or two. And once you got into like the group of kids that were in the software engineering department, they were all sharp, every one of them. I mean, obviously some better than others, but there were no stupid kids in that group. That's a okay ring. Yeah, I mean, I get that to an extent, but some things you can't grind through. Like, depending on what you're trying to do. Like, you're not going to grind through and get a science, computer science degree. You're just not. There's going to be some people that just, and then they could be smart. They could be smart. But writing code, your brain is just wired different. So it kind of depends on what you're trying to do in college, I guess. Um, but it's weird. Like the school, my school, it seemed like I looked at the numbers. It was like 30% of the degrees were in communication. It's just like a generic monarch or blocking. Well, it's not just that, Chris, because it's the logic behind having to create software. Some people just are not going to grasp the at the theoretical level how to put something together to solve the problem. They're just not. And it applies to probably across the board with engineering, because engineering tends to skew heavy math. And dude, that'll get people quick. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's just like a safe option. Well, yeah, Chris, that was me as well. Like, I feel like you kind of, if you're gonna go that direction, you kind of know pretty early on. I mean, I always kind of liked it. I just was like, and you don't technically need um, to have a degree to get into software engineering or programming. Um, but it gets you into that interview a lot quicker. Yeah, Greg, it's dude. The the math weeds them out for sure. I mean, Calc 1 will take people out. The Night Agent? I haven't heard of that one. I would even disagree with that, Tommy. Yeah, to a degree, math is easy, but I know Russian math. I don't even know what that means, or is he just calling it that because he doesn't understand it? Yeah, I slammed Calc 1. 2 was a bit tougher. I was trying to, what was it called? Differentials, differential equations, stuff like that. Calc 2 got, I think that was it. It might not be the right phrase for that. Calc 2 really starts turning you on your ear. Calc 1 I thought was easy, but the next one, Calculus 2 really got into it. Yeah, Jerry, that's when it starts weeding people out, man. It starts getting a little rough. And I didn't actually, because I went business. Like we had three. Was it three? No, there was two paths we could take in a computer science department. It was business or scientific. And if you went scientific, you had to take, I want to say, at least 4 levels of calculus. For business, you only had to take 2. But in replacement of that, you had to take like accounting, economics, and stuff like that, like to get that path. But man, Calc 2 was it was getting tough. Um, and to go beyond that, like my sister, she's an actuary, which is basically a math science. So I don't even know how many levels of calculus she went into, but she loved it. I didn't necessarily love it. It was getting a little rough. Oh, Jerry, dude, she had so many job offers right out of the gate. It was crazy. And now she's like a partner in whatever firm she works at. She's been there. She's been doing it for, how old is she now? She's turning 50. So, and she's been doing it since she graduated, 22, so 28 years. Yeah, she makes bank. She makes so much money. She's the one I was telling that she took her daughter to Paris for a graduation present. Ooh, there we go. Oh, it's cool to look at. But yeah, if you're math oriented, that's a great direction to go. Oh yeah, great. She actually does. Um, that's where she started. She went to work for a big insurance company. The company she works for now does consulting for like the state pension plans and stuff. They basically run the numbers for different states, when they're trying to make changes to their pensions and all that kind of stuff. That's like she works for a consulting firm for that kind of stuff now. But she makes bank. She makes big money doing that. Oh yeah, Liam. She went through all that stuff. She was constantly um, doing this. I don't even think would it even classify as continuing ed. It was like just more advancement. I don't think it was really actually just continuing education. Yeah, that might be what it's called, Liam. I actually don't even know, but that sounds right. Yeah, I don't think it was continuing ed. It was like just learning more. She was constantly taking classes. I'm honestly glad I did not set foot into another calc class after 2. But I mean, just most kids aren't built for that kind of stuff. I mean, I gotta be honest. I mean, most people are stupid. I mean, it's a harsh way of saying it, but most people are dumb. No, she's not a gambler. She did enjoy a stint at playing like some poker or something, but mainly just for fun. That maybe. I don't know. Well, the average was 100. You know that actually average in the U.S. has dropped. It's like 98 or 97 now. The bell curve has actually shifted to the left. And I don't know that it's not truly a bell either. Too many video games. Could be. I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon, right? Because I feel like, and it's not really an IQ thing. It's more people tend to get where they get their information. It's like especially for the younger generation, they get like their information from TikTok. That's not the place to go for that. I could kind of see that, Jerry, and that would kind of point more to laziness. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it's like the whole social media phenomenon. What past 20 years has really flipped things on its ear. It's so bizarre. If you've lived through it, it's crazy to watch. Because I was trying to remember, I was watching a podcast or something. They were debating, they were talking about that, and it's like they're talking about how you really do have like all the information in the world in your pocket. You literally have, you could look up anything in the world, but it's just people tend to just, they're not, it's not about like learning anything anymore. It's kind of more like the dopamine rush of just, something funny, something cool to look at versus, actually improving yourself. I mean, because if you look, I mean, they're not a great example, but they do, like, if you look at China, they, like, ban a lot of that stuff. They won't let their kids onto social media. So, and if you look at what those kids are trying to learn, like, they're not trying to be influencers or social media this or that. They are still striving to become an astronaut or a scientist, a doctor. That they're still looking more to that versus, like here. I mean, it seemed like there was a study done, or it might even just been like just a poll or something. And most of these kids are wanting to be streamers and social media influencer of whatever. That's kind of like what the goal is now, instead of like learning something. Yeah, Jerry, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I get what you're saying, Bob. What you mean, Liam? Or Liam? What do you mean by both ways? That's true. It's not all that stuff that's out there, for sure. And they do have big audiences. They do. They do have big audiences. I mean, it's not like completely in the toilet, right? Um, but they're never the biggest draw, like audience wise. Ugh, don't even bring that up, Bob. Yeah, I would agree with that. But there's so much junk, right? You have to sift through all the crap to find some of the good stuff. Because I've stumbled onto some great channels like that. Bob, stop. I can't go anywhere near stuff like that, dude. I cannot look at that kind of stuff.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just a weird thing to watch. Because I mean, most of us have seen it like from beginning to where it is now, right? Most of us at this point have been at the beginning of when the social media stuff started ramping up. We've seen it kind of take hold and grow. And it's just such a weird thing to watch. And it does, I mean, it does have an effect on the kids. It definitely, it's like a huge effect. Like my sister made a point of really monitoring. I mean, she didn't completely block them from social media. It's more of a phasing in effect, you know, and making sure they're like at a right point to start looking, you know, become part of Facebook and become like her oldest child is on Facebook, but like the two youngest, and they're both in, I think, middle school now. Neither one of them are. Retro, what's up, buddy? Yep, so far so good. We're only on the 7th, but we're starting out okay. Yeah, that's true, Bob. It's just that I feel like a lot of the kids are not looking for that kind of stuff. They're just looking for the entertainment value. I mean, if you look at how they just like spend hours scrolling through like TikTok and stuff, it's not good. Yeah, the good ones can for sure, Liam. But the thing is still you have to draw that audience, and just a lot of people just don't look for that. I'm not saying like all the young people these days are like that. Um,
I am
and it kind of
overburdened.
it you know, even back when I was going back to school, I feel like I did have kind of an opinion that all the young kids were not trying to learn, and I was optimistically, yeah, well, not that's not the right way to phrase it. I was surprised and happy to find that there was a great there was a large subset of the student population that was
I
there to
can't
actually
carry
learn.
anymore.
Whether it skewed more or worse than it had when I originally went to school, I don't know. Because it's anecdotal. I'm sure there's studies that looked at it though.
I am overburdened.
But there is a lot more stuff that influences what kids look at and how they entertain themselves and that kind of stuff. It I feel like it is overall probably a little worse. When you say school grading, you're talking about just being they're not I feel like
I
they're
can't
not as
carry
critical of
anymore.
the school of like the grades kids make now. I feel like they kind of let them slide on a lot of stuff. I could kind of see that. I could kind of see the exam thing. Tommy, he was referring to I forget Pokimane. Something she was just calling her streamers poor because they wouldn't buy her $20 cookies or whatever it was. There has been more emphasis on school scores or test scores, because they like whatever programs they have in place, like the criteria for certain requirements to graduate and that kind of stuff. It did focus more on testing, but I don't know, man. If you, I feel like, and I'll have to look it up. There is, I feel like the, and it might just be in certain areas where um, the kids that are graduating are actually worse off than the kids like what they've learned, like math skills, reading skills versus 20, 30 years ago. I feel like they're lower. Yeah, Bob. Yeah, it was a pretty silly situation, and it could have been in a joking manner, but I don't know. A lot of people took it wrong, so I don't know. Yeah, Bob, for sure. Even though I don't think you can get cookies for $3 nowadays, probably more like 6. think I saw some bar tucks. Yeah, there they go. Let's do martial arts. Well, are those $3 to $4 cookies going to be like the store brand ones? I'm just saying, like, if you get like, I don't know, like a bag of Chips Ahoy, I feel like they're going to be like $5 or $6 now. You could probably get like store brand cookies for like $3, $4 or whatever. Nah, Bob, they got away from that kind of stuff a while back. I remember that when I was in school. I mean, we had like a home economics class or something. I forget what it was called, but it was like stuff like balancing a checkbook, that all, you know, that kind of stuff. Just stuff you're going to need to know when you got out of high school. I think that went out of the door a while back. Well, yeah, I mean, Liam, I mean, everybody's kind of wired different. Like, there's going to be people like that, right? That it's not about the process. Like in my, let's say, like in software engineering, you can't just memorize and make your way through the process, because to write software, you have to know the process. And that probably falls the same for engineering, I would assume. It's not necessarily just, you know, memorizing a bunch of formulas and then you could just do the job. That's just not how it works. With probably most engineering jobs, you have to know how to, like, from start to end, know how the process works. And that's the same for programming, because all you're presented with is a program. So you might know all the syntax of a language. That's not going to get you to solve the problem if you don't know how the process works. A law class in college? Eh. I could technically see, I could kind of see that if that's kind of the direction you want to go, and maybe figure out if that's actually what you want to do based off of like like a class in high school. I could kind of see that. I just, to me, like when I was going through high school, I felt like there was no space for a lot of different classes like that, because you had to have like your specific, like English and history and math and all, you know, you had all those classes, and it didn't seem like there was time to take very many like elective type classes. Yeah, Liam, I, I felt like we didn't. Maybe they like shorten the class length, and you could take more or something now. I don't even know, because like I still like my my senior year. I don't remember all the classes. I took AP Calculus, Trigonometry, AP Chemistry, AP English. I don't remember if there was a history class that senior year. I think I had to take a language, maybe a language. I don't remember how many periods we had. I think I took a language and maybe there was like a maybe I think a civics class. Well, you think that's a good or a bad thing to have all those electives? I think I might have had one elective slot. I always felt like there was always math and always like English. That was always a class you had all the way through high school.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Oh yeah, PE. There was always a PE class. Tommy, tell us how you really feel, man. Oh, man. Man, high school's such a distant memory now. Tommy's retired now. This is a terror. How many bosses are spawning right here? Are private schools that big of a part of the education system up there? I mean, we got private schools here, but I don't think they're like proportionally like much of a factor. Like I think if you look at like in an area, you look at the like the total the student population. I'm willing to bet like private schools make up less than 5%. Yeah, Bob, if you can hit that 30-year mark, that's the goal with like federal, right? Huh, that's interesting. I don't know if that's actually the case here. I don't think it is with private schools. I mean, they have some influence, I'm sure, but yeah, I don't think they have that kind of a sway. I could be wrong. Thought I saw another one. Yeah, maybe not. Thought I saw another small charm. Damn, Bobbio. Yeah, you're set. You're set. I mean, that's even at the state level government. If you get 30 years, you're pretty much set. Well, what do you think, Liam? Is it a parent's fault or is it a school system fault? I mean, there's definitely blame on the parents' side. But I think the system's kind of janked right now.
It's locked.
I mean, because I think my sons, they're leaning more towards homeschooling at this point, or at least to a point.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, man. I mean, I got lucky. Like, my son graduated in 2012. Or no, wait, no, he graduated in 2008. My bad. He graduated when I was going back to school. So, I mean, I feel like the last 15 years, the system's really changed a lot. Yeah, Bob. I mean, I here's the thing. It depends on what state you're in too, as far as homeschooling. North Carolina has one of the biggest homeschooling support systems in the country. It's like number one or two. So it's kind of almost a no-brainer here to do it. Um, but like other areas, it might be near impossible to do. I'm gonna do one more run. Yeah, that must be a Canada thing, Liam. There's nowhere near anything like that here. Like, anybody could get into college here. I think if you graduate high school, you could get into a 4-year school somewhere. First touchscreens, that would be a pretty big deal. I mean, because touchscreens are everywhere now. So if you were on like the beginning edge of that, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, that technology went everywhere.
I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
Don't see anything else. Yeah, the housing thing's kind of just where you're at. Like any urban area, you're not going to find. Well, I can't say that because I've heard like, especially like Detroit, the housing there is like just because a lot of people, so many people have left that there's just like empty houses everywhere. Like here, the housing has started to climb. The Raleigh Durham area has just grown so much because a lot of companies moving their tech here. Um, the Raleigh Durham area is becoming one of the tech hubs on the East Coast. Like Austin's a really big tech hub, and of course Silicon Valley, San Francisco. I want to say Seattle's a pretty big tech hub, but like on the East Coast, Raleigh Durham's one of the bigger ones. So everybody moving here, that just makes the housing just grow exponentially. It's crazy how much houses cost these days here. But I mean, it's still nowhere near like other areas. But, All right, guys, I'm gonna jump, go get something to eat. Kind of a boring stream. I should have done more. We'll do like maybe we'll do a couple bounties tomorrow, because I want to unload the burr runes in all the stuff I have. I'm not gonna carrying it in non-ladder's a waste. But appreciate you guys hanging out. Conversation's always good. Never know what we're gonna spin off on. I'll be on tomorrow. I need to work on I'm not happy with like not the side you guys see, but like my dashboard was not what I wanted it. I think I screwed up and started the stream in the wrong place because I'm using the two apps, and I think I should have started it in the other app so that my dashboard looks right. But I'm doing broke boys. All right, tomorrow I'll just call everybody broke boys. All right, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I'll be on at 3.